I was in Hendon Magistrates Court being tried for Public Order Section 14. For 2 decades I have been trying everything else, but it's the protesting on the streets that actually has made a difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We have to balance the just small amount of disruption now with the disruption that will be caused if we allow climate change to go past that tipping point to a cascade of feedback effects, which will mean, famine, global famine, not just in the global south where it is happening already.
I was in court with Ruth today, and I have to say that it was one of the most moving experiences I've had in a long time, when she reminded the court that everybody needed to bring their conscience to work. The impact on everybody in that courtroom was so profound.
I was very sorry that people were disrupted, had their lives disrupted, especially this person that couldn't get to have a doctor's appointment. But there's something like 1,000 people a day, mostly children, are dying now because of climate change. We are, at the moment in this country, we don't really notice that, it's something out there, but in the future, if we allow the tipping points to be passed, it'll happen here too. We will have huge famine and civilization breakdown, societal breakdown. That will be a rather larger disruption to the people of London.
We in Extinction Rebellion, I think, are really acting for other people. I think that's so fundamental that when that is begun to be appreciated, that it's not our interests in protests, but it's everybody's interests, that balance, I think, will change. And the prosecutor, I think, was so shaken by the way that Ruth had put her case that he asked what was really an extraordinary statement. He asked her a question that said, "Do you think that this is a court of morality?" I don't think I've ever heard anybody ask a question like that in a court of law. And she simply said yes, because that's what it needs to do. We need to bring our consciences into this. That's the truth, isn't it? We were here to tell the truth, and she did. And I think the judge heard that. I think he was very affected by that.
So our government is breaking its own laws on climate, as well as failing in its primary duty to protect the lives of its citizens. And that's why I started getting involved with the peaceful non-violence civil disobedience. The ordinary means of shifting society have run out of time. Part of who I am is my need to tell the truth. This is an important part of the Christian tradition. The Bible is full of prophets preaching uncomfortable truths to their generation. And Jesus speaking the truth led to his crucifixion. And telling the truth, I think, is the key response to the climate emergency we're in. And the problem is that politicians, the media, businesses, even NGOs have actually been lying to themselves and to us about quite how urgent the crisis is. And I think only if people completely understand, really understand the absolute emergency we're in, only then will they be willing to call for and make the economic and societal transformations that are required. For 2 decades, my words were ignored. 2 weeks on the streets of London was not ignored. Opinion polls showed concern for the environment at the highest level on record, and the Shadow Chancellor stated that the Extinction Rebellion led directly to the Parliament's declaration of the climate and environment emergency. I believe we are called to be faithful and not successful. Should the rebellion not work and we fail to stop climate, ecological and civilization meltdown, I still believe that peacefully standing against the criminal negligence of our government is still the best moral and truthful choice in this time of extinction.
And we've been here 10,000 years, bright shining like the sun. We've no less days to sing God's praise as when we first began.